Hello everyone and welcome back for some more Drag Race gossip, secrets and drama. So today we're going to be looking at one of the more controversial queens to come from RuPaul's Drag Race, which is Tyra Sanchez, the winner of Season 2. In this video, we'll be looking at Tyra's life before and since Drag Race, the various controversies he's been involved in over the years, as well as some more recent things that he's done which has caused a huge amount of backlash towards him. All that and more coming up in today's video, so let's get started. Before we start, I just want to say, please do not use this video as an excuse to send hate to Tyra or anyone else. Regardless of how you feel about someone and whether you think they deserve it, please do not send hate and just consume this content passively. This video is just meant for educational and informational purposes for those of you who may not know the full scope of the situation. Also, although Tyra has changed which name he uses over the years, I'm going to use the name Tyra and he/him pronouns throughout this video, as that seems to be how Tyra currently identifies based on posts he's made on social media. How Tyra started. Tyra, whose government name is James William Ross IV, was born in Gainesville, Florida in 1988, although his family moved to Orlando, Florida shortly after his birth, which is where Tyra has spent most of his time. In an interview with Johnny McGovern on Hey Queen, Tyra talked about his difficult upbringing and childhood, which involved moving around from project to project and living on a street that was nicknamed Murder Drive because there were a lot of, quote, thugs around. In fact, when Tyra was 12 or 13 years old, he witnessed someone getting shot on his front porch. Tyra also said that he became homeless at age 15 because his mother kicked all the children out of the house, so Tyra went to live with his strict military dad. But because Tyra was very rebellious, his dad also kicked him out, so Tyra ended up staying in hotels and crashed at friends' houses. Tyra also mentioned that his father is also gay. He also said he is estranged from his father and hasn't spoken to him in years. Then, at age 17, Tyra became a dad to a son named Jeremiah with a girlfriend he had been with for about 2 years at that point, but they later broke up. Also, just to jump ahead for a moment, there is a rumour that Tyra had a second baby after a tweet that Tyra posted in 2017 saying, "Someone's becoming a father for the second time." However, I couldn't find any confirmation of whether this is real or just a joke. Tyra even once announced that he was making a documentary about being a drag queen and a dad called Drag Dad, but it looked like he never completed it. It has also been said, though, that Tyra is estranged from his son. According to a TMZ article from 2015, the mother of his child filed child support papers with the courts. And sources apparently told TMZ that Tyra had allegedly not paid any child support. But I couldn't find any concrete evidence to support this, so this may not be substantiated. But back to Tyra's early life, Tyra came out as gay, and in 2007 at age 19, he became a drag queen known as Tyra Sanchez. He met an Orlando-based drag queen named Angelica Sanchez Jones, who is part of the House of Sanchez, set up by the legendary queen Stasha Sanchez, and Angelica became Tyra's drag mother. Tyra's original drag name was Tyra Simone Sanchez. The Tyra part came from his niece called Tyra, and the Simone part came from the actress Raven Simone, or Simone. And then, of course, the Sanchez part came from his drag family. Tyra established a presence in the drag scene in Orlando and was known especially for his impersonations of Beyoncé. 2 years later, at age 21, Tyra decided to audition for RuPaul's Drag Race and became the youngest contestant to be on the show. On Drag Race, Tyra became a clear favourite of RuPaul and the judges, who said they were won over by his charisma, style, and his touching story about the struggles of raising a child. Tyra won 3 maxi challenges and 1 mini challenge, never landed in the bottom, and eventually lip-synced against the other finalist, Raven, but Tyra was announced as the winner of the season. However, Tyra's run on Drag Race was full of drama, especially with his fellow co-stars. Several other queens, such as Tatiana, Jujubee and Pandora, called out Tyra's attitude and said that Tyra was rude backstage and disregarded other people's feelings. This then culminated in several queens calling Tyra out on stage after RuPaul asked them what they're not seeing on stage.
I don't think that you're seeing that Tyra is the complete
That was frank.
Thank you. She has this diva attitude, like I am America's sweetheart, but she's not.
I completely agree with what Tatiana says.
That's because when you give me a compliment, I don't give you one back, doesn't mean I don't have manners.
Girl, I know I'm gorgeous. You don't need to tell me anything, Miss Thing. Just get yourself some manners so you won't look so damn stupid.
There were also several other stories about Tyra's apparent backstage attitude. For example, Pandora Box once shared on the Race Chaser podcast that during filming, when the queens were eating dinner in the hotel, Tyra allegedly threw food at a waiter who got his order wrong.
Sit down, we order food, and the server comes over. She had ordered a burger and it came open face, and she looked at it and she said, this is Tyra, she said, "What is that? I didn't order that," and took the lettuce and tomato off and threw it at the server.
At the reunion for season 2, some of the queens said they had noticed a change in Tyra being kinder and nicer, although this was apparently short-lived, which we'll get onto later. After Tyra's win, many people felt that Raven should have won instead, and the term "Raven was robbed" was frequently used on social media. In fact, in an interview that Tyra/James did with Joseph Shepard in 2023, which has since been taken down, Tyra talked about how Michelle Visage said in every interview that she did that Raven should have won, and this was before Michelle was even a judge on the show. And Tyra said that Michelle saying this encouraged the fans to attack Tyra even more. There was even a moment at DragCon in 2017 where all of the season 2 queens were doing a panel and Tyra was seated at the end of the table. Raven then came in late and everyone gave Raven a standing ovation, so she kind of got a winner's reaction and she was seated in the middle.
Oh my God. I mean, she really needs no introduction, but you guys give it up for Raven.
Raven was even asked if she thought that she should have won season 2, and she said yes. There was also an image that went viral on social media of Tyra sitting at his booth with no one waiting in line. Tyra also said in the interview I mentioned that the sponsor of the show at the time, Absolute Vodka, wanted Raven to win, and apparently many of the prizes Tyra was promised either didn't happen or didn't pan out the way they promised. But Tyra said he thinks the only reason he won was because RuPaul wanted him to win, even though everyone else wanted Raven to win. This discrediting of Tyra's win, along with a lot of racism that Tyra experienced, ultimately led to Tyra feeling animosity towards some of the fans, and this was part of the reason why Tyra apparently acted the way she did later on. This was then why Tyra started to fall out of favour with some of the fans as well as some other queens. So let's get into that now. Tyra's controversies. Many of you will know that Tyra has been involved in a lot of controversy and drama since his time on Drag Race, and I have talked about this on my channel before. You only need to look at both Tyra's Wikipedia page and his Drag Race wiki page, which have entire sections on controversies, to know that this is a big part of Tyra's life which has shaped his career. So let's go through some of these controversies now. Tyra has been in trouble with the law on various occasions, including an arrest in 2011 for possession of marijuana. Tyra talked about this experience on Hey Queen and explained that he was in his boyfriend's car at the time along with someone else and they were all smoking. The police pulled them over because the car had illegally tinted windows, which is when they found the drugs and they all got arrested. Tyra was also arrested in 2014 after an altercation with a security guard at a nightclub, and the two later went to court. Tyra did also talk about the full details of this story on Hey Queen, which I'll link to in the description if you want to know the full story. There were also a few other more recent arrests and legal issues. In 2020, Tyra was arrested for vandalism after allegedly spray painting the words "Don't move here" on the side of an apartment complex building where he was apparently living. Other arrests followed a few years later. According to Entertainment Weekly, Tyra was arrested in May 2023 after he was involved in a minor traffic accident that wasn't his fault, and he resisted arrest. Body cam footage from the arresting police officer later came out, which showed the interaction between Tyra and the police officer and what led to Tyra getting arrested.
I'm here to help y'all, okay?
Okay, well, hurry up and give me my accident report.
Why
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Look, you
Let's
can
do
drop
it.
the attitude.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Problem, man.
I'm angry. Someone just hit my
Hey, no.
baby. What part of that
It's
don't
a
you
car.
understand?
You,
Fucking
yeah, you
here.
don't put your hands on your back.
I'm not putting behind my back.
You can calm down.
If you tase me, I will sue the
I
out
don't
of you.
care.
Tase
You gonna
me,
calm
I
down?
will shoot the.
You gonna shoot me? Put your hands up. You're under arrest.
I didn't say that. You tase me, I will shoot. I will.
10-4, I'm fixing to fight one. Don't you be getting the damn floor.
A few months later, in July 2023, Tyra was arrested again after he was protesting his original arrest for resisting an officer, and apparently Tyra was waving around a sex toy at a busy intersection in a construction zone, which was causing a traffic problem. It was later reported by Action News Jax that Tyra made a citizen's complaint about the arrest, and this helped get the local police department shut down after an investigation into the police department was done, and they found lots of issues such as missing guns. The report even said that the police department was in, quote, shambles. Tyra was even interviewed about this and said, quote, "Finally, I got them. Stand up for yourself, know your rights, know what they can do and cannot do, and don't allow anyone to silence you." So those were all of Tyra's legal issues as of right now. But going back to some of Tyra's past controversies, there were several other things that happened as well. Back in 2016, a fan tweeted at Tyra saying that he was annoying, and Tyra responded by saying, quote, "Girl, kill yourself." Tyra got a huge amount of criticism for this, with people such as fellow Drag Race queen Mimi Unfirst saying that taking your own life is not a joke. However, Tyra doubled down and said in since deleted posts, "I have no sympathy for people that commit suicide. They're cowards. They give up and give in. Stop tweeting me about it. If you want to kill yourself, go ahead, it's your life. Am I going to be sympathetic for you and give pity? I think not. Too busy living my life." There was then a petition started for Drag Race to revoke Tyra's crown, or at least for RuPaul to speak on the issue. RuPaul later commented publicly on the situation and said, "Twitter is not the place for that. People don't get nuance on Twitter. You can't do irony on Twitter. People won't get it. On Twitter, you don't hear inflection, you don't hear snark, you don't hear sarcasm." According to an archived article on Gay Star News, which is linked on Tyra's Wikipedia page, Tyra apparently later posted a lengthy post on Facebook where he shared that he had also once tried to take his own life, but he refused to apologise for his opinions. Then, a year or so later, in 2017, Tyra posted a fake obituary for fellow Season 2 competitor Morgan McMichaels, where Tyra pretended Morgan had died. Morgan called out this fake obituary and later explained what happened. There seems to be a bit of conflicting information about what happened, but from what Morgan said in a live video, Tyra had made some, quote, aggressive comments about Raven. Morgan explained that she was booked for a gig at Mickey's nightclub in West Hollywood, and Tyra and Raven were also booked at this gig. Morgan said she was removing herself from the gig because she wanted to remain loyal to Raven, and she didn't agree with what Tyra had said, regardless of whether Raven cared about what Tyra had said or not. The management at Mickey's decided to reschedule Tyra for a different day so that Morgan would come to the gig, and this annoyed Tyra. Tyra then decided to post this fake obituary saying Morgan had died, and he also posted a SoundCloud link where he apparently made some rude comments about Morgan, although it looks like this SoundCloud file is no longer available. This fake obituary also inspired a joke which Morgan used as her entrance line for All Stars 3, where she said,
"I look pretty good for a dead."
Shortly after this situation with Morgan, Tatiana apparently texted Tyra asking him to take the post down. Tyra explained on Hey Queen that he told Tatiana it had nothing to do with her. Tyra then said, being the quote petty Betty that he is, he decided to screenshot what Tatiana had texted him, which included Tatiana's phone number, and posted the screenshot on social media. And this meant that Tatiana's personal phone number was then published. Tatiana then did the same thing back and posted Tyra's number publicly to get revenge. Tyra then did a Facebook Live where he apparently answered every call that was made to his phone number after Tatiana publicly posted his phone number. Later in 2014, Tyra said on social media that the RIP Morgan thing was just supposed to be a quote creative endeavour and claimed that the fans took it too seriously. Although Tyra later shared an Instagram story with a screenshot showing that he still had the track and the artwork for the RIP Morgan thing. And the story caption said, "'Cause bees think I be lying, I stand on business." One of the other big controversies that Tyra has been involved in is when he got banned from DragCon in 2018. What happened was that Season 4 contestant Fifi O'Hara, who now goes by Jeremy Carey, had posted on Snapchat saying that Tyra stole Raven's win. Tyra responded in a live video where he appeared to make threats, saying that he was going to do something to both Jeremy and Tatiana, or he may get someone else to do it for him.
It ain't gonna be me. It ain't gonna even be me. But when you see Miss Fifi and Miss Mother Tati ass stretched out on the mother ground, you know it was me. Yeah, I might not have physically did it, but it will be my doing. Remember that.
Jeremy then posted on Twitter, tagging Drag Race, saying Tyra should be removed from the upcoming DragCon because Tyra had threatened their safety. Tyra explained that the DragCon event organisers contacted Tyra and told Tyra to apologise to Jeremy and Tatiana, otherwise he would not be allowed to attend DragCon. But Tyra refused to apologise, which meant that he was cancelled from the event. Then, shortly after, Tyra posted on Facebook warning fans not to go to DragCon and linked to a website which was a countdown timer to DragCon which said boom. Tyra also included artwork of what looked like the convention centre where DragCon was being held, and it looked like there was an explosion. Multiple fans were concerned that Tyra was making a bomb threat against DragCon, and they contacted the authorities and the FBI got involved. It was later said that this was all just a hoax by Tyra. Tyra later posted a very lengthy Facebook post where he explained all the things that had happened leading up to DragCon, including the fans and other queens not treating him well. And he said he never threatened anyone and he was never going to bomb anything. He also accused World of Wonder and the fans of not caring about him or asking why he was saying these things, and said, quote, "Again, classic case of white people calling the cops on black people because they aren't getting their way." About a year later, in October 2019, Tyra posted a lengthy apology on social media, apologising for his past offensive behaviour. He said, quote, "I was angry, hurt and lost," explaining that, quote, "the judgment, criticism and opinions I received daily really affected my vibes and it began to control my environment." Tyra then ended the apology, promising to, quote, "lead by example with dignity, honesty and integrity." About 5 months later, Tyra posted on social media saying he was quitting drag, and he said, "For those who may be asking, Tyra Sanchez has fulfilled his purpose in my life. I, James Ross, no longer want to be referred to as Tyra Sanchez, her, she, girl or queen." Tyra then seemed to be relatively quiet for a few years. Then, in 2021, Tyra announced that he was making a comeback under the name King Tyra exclusively on OnlyFans. In January 2023, Tyra announced a comeback tour called Club Tyra, which would take place across 19 cities in the US. Then, a few months later, Tyra did the interview which I've mentioned a few times with Joseph Shepherd, where Tyra talked about his past controversies, explained why he did them and his return to drag. This was also the first interview that Tyra had done in a very long time. After that interview came out, many people in the comments felt that Tyra came across really well, agreed that the fans had treated him really badly in the past, and it seemed like he had matured and had learned from the experience and was now in a better place. However, this change of opinion started to fade after Tyra made some shocking comments about the death of 2 Drag Race queens. Let's talk more about that now. Tyra's shocking comments and backlash. Although Tyra had become a very polarising figure within the Drag Race community due to his past controversies, many fans felt like Tyra had been treated badly, which may have explained some of his past actions. And people felt that he had learned from his mistakes, apologised, and he had changed for the better. However, Tyra had developed a bit of a habit of posting very controversial statements on social media and having feuds with people as well as other queens. For example, in 2023, Season 8 and All-Stars 8 contestant Naysha Lopez had apparently made a joke about Tyra during a Roscoe's viewing party. Tyra, who at that point went by the name James, posted a now deleted tweet which said, "I don't watch that show anymore, but a little bird told me that hoe Naysha Lopez was eliminated for a 3rd time. Failure, karma, always riding my D, worried about if I should be allowed to compete in a show I want nothing to do with, and here you are, a loser for the 3rd time." Naysha replied and told Tyra to, quote, grow up and do better. This then sparked a lot of back and forth between the two of them, and Tyra made many comments about Naysha, and even accused Naysha of misgendering him because he said he uses he/him pronouns rather than she/her. And as I said earlier, although Tyra had developed somewhat of a reputation within the fandom, a lot of people were still giving him the benefit of the doubt at this point. But this seemed to change after Tyra made some very offensive comments about the Vivienne's death in 2025. In January 2025, it was announced that the Vivienne, who was the winner of Drag Race UK Season 1 and also competed on All Stars 7, had tragically passed away. The Vivienne had been quite open about her struggles with addiction, and although her family didn't publish any information at the time, a few months later in March 2025, the family shared that the Vivienne had died from heart failure associated with ketamine overdose. After the Vivienne's death was announced, tributes poured in for the Vivienne, including from many Drag Race queens who shared amazing memories and moments from the Vivienne. However, Tyra then seemingly started making offensive comments about the Vivienne's death. Tyra reposted a tweet that the Vivienne had posted 5 years earlier in 2020 which said, "Bet Tyra was fuming when she realised Netflix spoiled the win too. Sorry gal, you tried though." Just to explain this in case you don't know, back in 2020 when All Stars 5 was airing, Netflix used an image of Shea Coulee holding the crown and scepter as the thumbnail, even though the finale had not aired yet. Apparently Tyra had been posting trying to spoil the fact that Shea was the winner of the season, and I found a screenshot on Reddit of a post that Shea did at the time where Shea said that they film all 3 of the contestants winning, so this image proves nothing, and Shea said, quote, grow up. Tyra responded to that and said, "Oh, he mad, congrats bro on winning," and there was also a further back and forward between Tyra and Shea. So it seems that the Vivienne must have then posted this tweet making fun of Tyra trying to spoil Shea's win. But going back to 2025, after the Vivienne's death was announced, Tyra reposted this tweet from the Vivienne from 2020 and said, "Yet it doesn't compare to the fumes of the crematorium." Tyra's post immediately got a huge amount of backlash, and multiple queens, including Candy Muse, Deja Skye and Hormona Lisa, criticised Tyra. Candy Muse even replied to Tyra's tweet and said, "I've defended you for years, but now you can absolutely go F yourself, and if our path were to ever cross, it's absolutely on site B. It's not a threat, it's a promise, you disgusting person." Tyra replied to Candy saying, "Threat received, prepare your funeral." Tyra later tweeted saying that Candy had blocked Tyra. Tyra also posted a drawing of what looked like him holding up Candy's bloody severed head, which he was selling as merch. Tyra also continued posting offensive things about the Vivienne's death, such as saying, quote, "She's dead, rotting, sending me all the hate in the world won't bring her back, but do as you must, because of you the tweet has reached 25,000 individuals. Thanks for the much needed attention that I oh so desperately needed." Tyra also made some other shocking posts on social media, joking that the Vivienne had died from AIDS, and Tyra also tweeted saying, "She thought she cooked, now she's cooked." Tyra also posted an image of a crematorium and said, "Songs I would play if I owned a crematorium," and in the background there was the song Girl on Fire by Alicia Keys. The backlash against Tyra intensified, and people wondered why Tyra was doing this. People assumed that Tyra just wanted some social media engagement so that he could earn some money because he has a Twitter premium account where you get paid depending on how much engagement your posts get. However, other people have said that Tyra didn't have enough followers to earn money, so it's unclear if that was true or not, but most people assumed that Tyra was just doing it for attention. There were then renewed calls for RuPaul to revoke Tyra's crown, and Tyra tweeted saying, "Calling for a crown/title that I could give 2 Fs about is stupid. You're the only ones caught up in that fairy tale. It means absolutely nothing. Y'all been hollering 15 minutes for 15 years. F that crown, F at RuPaul, F at RuPaul's Drag Race, F at World of Wonder, and F you too." RuPaul even seemingly got involved, which is quite rare, and Ru posted a clip on Instagram of a moment from season 2 where RuPaul slapped Tyra during an acting challenge, and people took this to be RuPaul shading Tyra for what he said about the Vivienne.
You know what you did, Shane? Ooh, Sharkeisha!
It seems that Tyra then repeated the same behaviour several months later, after the death of Jiggly Caliente from season 4, All Stars 6, and a judge on Drag Race Philippines. In April 2025, Jiggly's family posted on social media saying that due to an infection, Jiggly had undergone surgery and had lost most of her right leg, and as a result of this, Jiggly would not be appearing in any public appearances for the foreseeable future. A few days later, Jiggly's family posted another post announcing that Jiggly had sadly passed away. Tributes poured in for Jiggly, including very touching tributes from many Drag Race queens. One of these queens included Jeremy Carey, who used to go by Fifi O'Hara, and the two of them competed together on season 4. Jeremy shared a very emotional and touching tribute to Jiggly. However, Tyra commented on Jeremy's post saying, "Moi, no leg," with a drawing of him and 3 other people, and presumably one of those people is Jiggly. This then got a huge amount of backlash, and Jeremy responded a little while later saying, "I want to put this out there. Tyra is disruptive, sad, and alone in this world, and for reason. She built the desolate world she deserves, but her inability to show kindness, empathy, or a whisper of class has nothing to do with her race. Please don't fill my mentions with racist remarks, especially in mine or Jiggly's name. I've blocked and hid her response to keep the focus on my best friend. Please do the same." Tyra posted a subsequent tweet with a drawing of just him and Jiggly, and it said, "Not you officially and literally having to hop on D's now." Tyra then followed this up with another comment that said, "I stand corrected, it's evident the only thing you hopping in is a casket." There were also some other very offensive tweets, which I won't show here. However, Tyra has continued to keep posting about both the Vivienne and Jiggly, seemingly for attention. Some people started saying that Tyra must be under the influence of substances to be tweeting these things. However, Tyra denied this and said, "Funny you all continue to refer to me as a crackhead or meth addict when I don't do any drugs. But if y'all calling me that, then what the F do we call Vivienne? B died from a drug overdose." One of Tyra's most recent tweets said, "In all seriousness, I would like to apologise to the Drag Race community and the entire LGBTQIA community. Through the years and all of y'all bull bleep, I should have acted this way sooner. All of you can kiss my black ass, and I thank you." This attitude in general from Tyra has made many people call even more for RuPaul or Drag Race to strip Tyra of his crown. However, Tyra has previously said he doesn't care about this. And so, as we've seen, Tyra has been involved in many controversies over the years, and although fans may have given him the benefit of the doubt at certain points, his more recent behaviour seems to be the final straw for many fans, and Tyra has seemingly lost much of the support he once had, which has led to him massively falling out of favour. But just to reiterate, the purpose of this video is just to inform those of you who may not have known about the Tyra situation. However, please do not send hate or engage with Tyra or his posts in any way, because this will only help him by giving him engagement. Please just consume this content passively, and by watching this video, you can stay informed about what is happening, but not give any actual attention to Tyra directly. So there you go, there was a video about all of the controversies to do with Tyra Sanchez. If you'd like early access to my videos, access to the exclusive Patreon chat, as well as exclusive content, please consider checking out my Patreon. It just costs a few dollars a month and it really helps support the channel. And I'll put a link to my Patreon in the description. I'd also like to take this opportunity to give a special shout out to my newest Patreon member, Debs, who joined in the You're a Winner Baby tier. Debs, you are a winner, baby. I'd also like to say a huge thank you to all of my new Patreon members, as well as my incredible existing Patreon members. Your support is truly so amazing, and I'm thankful every day to have such an amazing community. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate your support more than you know. Please make sure you like and comment on this video to help boost it in the algorithm and promote it to more people. And please make sure you hit that subscribe button if you like this video and want to be notified when I post more videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll join me in the future for more Drag Race gossip, secrets, and drama. Thank you so much. Bye.